Hey, on this episode, we're talking about will my heat pump still work in freezing temperatures, and once my power comes back on, my unit is frozen.
You ask your comfort and energy questions, and they get answered. This is the Ask Derek Cole Show.
Hey, this is Derek Cole. Welcome to episode 67 of the Ask Derek Cole Show, answering your home energy and heating and air questions. And after the ice storm last weekend, we had quite a few questions, and we'll get into it right now.
Should I turn my heat pump to emergency heat when it drops below freezing?
The heat pump is, there's kind of some misinformation out there. The heat pump can actually pull heat out of the air as long as their heat is in the air. So if it's 32, 31, 30 degrees outside, the heat pump will still be able to work. Now, it will bring on the electric heat, backup heat, emergency heat to help it achieve what temperature you want in the house, but it does not stop from working. So when it gets 32 or 30 outside, to turn your heat pump off and turn to electric heat would be a mistake. I would not do that because it can still extract the heat from the air and bring it into the home. Now, the electric heat will be running more often because chances are inside the house you have it 68, 70 degrees, whatever it is. So it will need that backup heat to help it achieve that temperature, but it's still going to operate the heat pump. So leave the heat pump on, and yes, your emergency heat, backup heat will be working to achieve that indoor temperature. And what will also happen is with those kind of temperatures, it'll defrost more. So if you look outside of your unit, you might see steam coming out of it. That's because it's defrosting. It's on the defrost cycle. As it pulls the hot air out of the cold air, it does freeze up that coil or frost up the coil. So it goes into a defrost cycle, which melts that frost off. Steam comes up because of the temperature, and that's normal operation. You're good to go. So yeah, leave the heat pump on and leave your temperature set. There's nothing special you need to do.
My unit is frozen after the ice storm. What can I do to get it working again?
Yeah, this was a big problem here locally anyway because we had some power outage. So when people got back, the power 24, 36 hours later, of course, after the freezing rain and a little bit of snow, the unit was iced over. So the best way to tackle that is to melt that ice on the outdoor unit yourself. Well, first of all, at the thermostat inside, I would turn it to emergency heat, right? Turn to emergency heat, get off the heat pump, because now the ice and the snow is around that unit. It cannot get the air from the outside, so don't do any damage to it. Turn on emergency heat, and then I just because the next day it gets pretty warm, or warms up pretty good. I mean, today is like 55, 57 degrees outside, so simple garden hose, a little bit of water, room temperature, melt the ice off, get it off the unit, and then let it resume normal cycle once it can breathe. What's happening is it can't breathe because the ice and the snow is all around the unit. It cannot extract any heat from the outside air. Therefore, it's probably blowing cold air in the house. So turn to emergency heat, melt that ice off, and you should be good to go from there.